Hi, welcome to the next lecture of Financial Statement Fundamentals, how to understand the story of any business at any time. And this lecture is about the universality of financial statements. This was mentioned briefly in a previous lecture and we're just going to talk about it a little bit now. So we're going to talk a little bit about the wonder behind these straightforward documents. Now that might sound a little bit airy-fairy, but it is something that I honestly believe in. To explain this a little bit, we can talk about how the financial statements can be used by every business on the planet, from the one-person micro business to the hundreds of thousands multinational. The same exact statements which we're going to cover in this course can be used from the business birth, throughout its growth, all the way till it becomes an epic global corporation. The same documents, nothing really changes. It's a universal common language to tell a story of performance and position, and the detail within these. All the accounts and line items within each of the financial statements, we can see a lot of detail. Every single financial statement, ever and anywhere, was based on the same underlying accounting theory underneath. It's the same language throughout. We talk about different accents but the one language. And by that we mean that statements can come with different formatting, presentation, and complexity. And these are based on the business size, the business structure, the geography of the business, and even just the chief financial officer taste. But they all follow the same accounting theory and follow very similar formal rules. And we'll talk about those rules a little bit later. Or quite soon, actually. And just to wrap up here, this short lecture, when we talk about the universality of financial statements, this might help you appreciate it. How many fields of knowledge present their summary information, so the output of all of the research and activities, in such a universal format, with one of the driving purposes to make this information as comprehensible for as many people as possible all over the planet, and as useful as for as many people as possible. And the more you think about it, there are very few, I'm not saying there are none, but there are very few fields of study that have this level of accessibility combined with this level of global impact and influence. Now, if you develop this skill over time, you'll be able to tell stories about particular incidents of businesses, of even economies. We talk about global impact and influence. Now, hopefully this won't happen too often, but it might. But the GFC in 2008 or the 2007 or even 2006, if you're able to read financial statements, you could have seen this coming years in advance of when Lehman Brothers collapsed. And it wouldn't have taken an immense years and years of training of reading financial statements. If you knew what to look for and kept your eyes open, you would have seen some of the bad debt provisions and some of the subprime losses appearing in financial statements well before it made headline news. So these financial statements can have a global impact and influence. And even just some fundamental financial statement analysis knowledge allows immense accessibility into this sort of insight. It's quite astounding. I really think it's great. And that's what we're going to learn about, so I think it's time we get cracking a bit further on.